also seen some big performances in the mid lane over the first 4 weeks of the summer split. And Caps, you were
Not
kind
from
enough
Caps.
to share your power rankings. Caps making a list.
Wait, who's first?
And then there we go. So you put yourself first, which is nice to see. And then second, Nuke Duck, which is already a point of contention. Perks, Ferry, Power Vivo, Senkux, Exile, Magnate, Betsy, and Kosku. So first up, why do you think you're first? Or why do you rank yourself?
I mean, I think it's always
Most
hard to do a ranking, right? But I just feel like when I play the other mid laners, there's not really any mid laner in particular that stands out right now. And I think the top, like with last split, there was Perks who stood out, and every time you played him, you could feel it, right? But right now in the top, there's not really any mid laner that stands out. And I saw Nuke Dog stand out against some of the other mids, so I thought he would be really high. But I mean, I just chose to put myself highest to this.
Yeah, fine.
Someone has to be. You know?
So,
sure.
Nuke Duck. What do we think about Nuke Duck in the second place? Because he's someone who had on and off games, right? And we've actually had question marks for the longest time. Does he still have it? He's at least shown it a bit, I think, this split, the fish show. But do you think he deserves the second spot?
I probably wouldn't put him second myself, but I would have him in top 4. I think he's very underrated by the community because they often remember some of the bad games that Nuke Duck can have, and he has been somewhat inconsistent, but there's actually a lot of games where his team is just losing around him, and he's doing extremely well in his own lane and getting early kills, and kind of the only guy making sure this team can actually get into the mid game and not being just out of the game already. So I think he's playing well, but I probably would personally put him under Perks and February right now.
Would you put Caps on number 1?
I think right now Caps number 1 is actually very fair.
Oh, there we go. So, what are your thoughts about the rankings? Anyone who's out of place?
I mean, talking about Nuke Duck, I feel like when you feel like you're performing good yourself and you're not necessarily doing so well as a team, you tend to like focus a bit too much on yourself. But what I like about Nuke Duck is that even though he probably feels like he's performing good, but he's still like proactive with his team and he still look for play to make with his team. So he's still like, he's not only focused about himself. So I think that's a really good thing for him.
Why is the mid laner for the second best team in the league at number 7? Exile, why did you put it so low? And what is for you kind of, if you have to go over Power of Evil, Senkux and Exile, why did you put them in their positions?
I mean, I think it's always hard to rate people, right? But I think right now, the last couple of weeks, Exile has had a really rough few weeks, and it's actually kind of weird because the first week he was really showing up, and we scrimmed him before the split started, and he was performing really well. But then as the split started progressing, it just became worse and worse, I feel like. And I'm not sure if there's something wrong with him. Maybe
meta feeling.
Yeah, either that or he lost grasp of the meta. But I mean, there's definitely some problems for him right now.
Yeah, we're definitely looking for him to climb back up the rankings. The fish show, some thoughts?
Yeah, I think with the Exile one, like for me, sure, some of the meta or some of the picks he has is maybe not what other mid laners are going for. He's playing a lot of Ryze as one of the only guys. Only Nuke Duck also played it. I think actually in the world right now. But I think for me, mainly the thing with Exile is it's not even so much like mechanics or anything. It's just like he's making really weird and bad decisions in the game, like unnecessary decisions. Like he will lose his flash, sit on 20% HP, and instead of going back and recalling, he will just run forward and start pushing in towards the enemy tower, and he just gets ganks and dies. So it seems like this mentally he's trying way too hard to do stuff when he doesn't need to.
Maybe it's one of two things, right? Xerxes comes into that lineup and does amazing and is making all the right moves. Maybe he feels like he has to kind of match that. Or the way I look at it is we have all these arcs of progression, and what Perks talked about last year, where he said, you start by being mechanically really strong as a mid laner and you can out 1v1 them, then you play LCS or you play the professional competition, you have to learn different things. You have to learn to hold back, you have to learn the macro. And for me, that's where Exile, he's not really taken that next step. And I see that in you, Caps, for instance. Obviously, you've had experience in a TCL as well, but you don't just jump in like a headless chicken anymore sometimes, you know?
He does that a lot.
He does that a lot.
Scrim.
Oh, never mind. So maybe that he just needs someone to push him to the next step.
Sure, I mean, that's obviously where you have your team around you and your coach. And I would think at this point that Exile will look at the VODs as well and kind of figure out, okay, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. But we can see can also be a huge advantage if Exile goes back up for the Unicorns of Love staying there. Any final thoughts on the rankings?
I want to know what Caps needs to improve on. What is Caps' weakness, according to Caps, and then according to Soas?
There's too many.
I said,
We'll be there really late.
No, but
Perfect player.
no,
Right.
but I mean, it's hard to. I hate saying like flaws and strengths, you know. But
Sure.
because you can always just say like I need to improve in everything, you know. But yeah, I think it's just about playing. Maybe I mean you can always say that taking more scrims, more like LCS, and playing more consistently in scrims, so that the scrims will match the LCS performance. Because a lot of our scrims are, you know, a bit more aggressive, I guess, than those days. So.
Because of who?
Because I mean, there's a team thing, you know.
All right. So Soas wants to see Caps take it more seriously, even in scrims. Correct?
I think it's like not an individual thing. It's a bit for everyone. It depends. It depends of the days as well sometimes. But but yeah.
Right. All right.
I mean,
Good old Fnatic
happens,
scrims.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
happens to a lot of teams, honestly. Probably us and UL a bit more than others, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll round it off there. Thank you so much, Caps, for making your list and the insight. We'll have to see who lives up to the title of EU Mid as cross-group play continues next week.